the love we were so blind. Oh, I hate to see you cry. There've been times when the truth lied, now it's clear as a blue sky. Like a bandit over deep in Christ we tried. Couldn't stop the pain to save me on the night. We'll build a fire, told you no light, all the stars alive. These words are killing right up the night sky. The memories take life, all the stars alive. Give me all the stars alive. Now I wonder who we go through. All we ever do is argue. With all the love that we can do.
So, the decision to do these gigs, obviously I wanted to tour this album, I wanted to play it in venues, but there's kind of like two other reasons that are I guess selfish reasons, but I basically, like, when I release songs that people like, you can tell, like pop songs, you can tell whether people like them because you can hear them out and about. You're out in, you know, a bar, you hear a song, you might be in a sandwich shop, or you might hear it in like a passing car. Like, you would hear Bad Habits out and about. Or in the gym. But I can promise you, no one is lifting weights to salt water. No one. No one is getting ready with their friends for a night out and playing boat. Or life goes on. And so you can't tell whether people like these songs. You know, I can tell that people like Bad Habits because I hear it out and about. So for me, doing these shows, it's been so wonderful standing on stage and singing these songs and seeing people that have actually connected with them over the last four months. And seeing which ones people like. So that's reason number one. Number two was the first time I played this album live was for an Apple Music event. And it was before the album came out, it was in like March. And everyone that went into the theatre got their phone put in a little pouch. Has anyone ever been to a Dave Chappelle show where they put this little pouch and a magnet? And so no one filmed the show because none of the music had been released. And I got on stage and I played boat, I went into saltwater, and then when I started talking about Eyes Closed, and I started mentioning Jamal, I started crying. And I was really taken aback by it because I was like, I've never cried on stage before, this is so weird, why why have I never cried on stage? So anyway, I pulled myself back together, I played the song, and then I started talking about Life Goes On, and again, I burst into tears. It was quite awkward, because you're filming, you know, a TV special, and you're sort of like grieving in front of 5,000 people that you've never met before. And afterwards, I was wondering, I was like, why have I never cried on stage? Because I've sung songs that have come from moments in my life that would make me sad before on stage, and I was wondering, why didn't I cry on stage? And I came to the conclusion that because the songs had not been released, they were still mine, and you know, they come from my real life experiences and things that I've gone through, and I was on stage singing my songs. Whereas the longer that this tour has been going on, these songs have become your songs, and every time you release music, it starts to just belong to the public. Like, no one in this theatre listens to Perfect and goes, that's about Ed's wife. You listen to it, and you think about the person that you love, and it takes you back to a time of, oh, we were in the car that one time, and they did that one thing, and that's why the song's important, or maybe it's the wedding song, or like, songs are amazing because for instance, did everyone enjoy Ben Queller? Ben Queller's amazing, right? So Ben Queller has a song that he played today which is called 13, and that was mine and my wife's first dance at our wedding. And the reason is because it's our song, but that song's written about Ben's wife, and it's so specific. Like, every line is so specific to him and his wife, but we see it as our song, and that's why music is really special, because whenever an artist releases music, it does belong to you guys. It does become your stories and your thoughts, and what I wanted with this album was to come out and play it more, so I can feel less sad about it. And it's like a kind of healing process for me to sort of stand on stage and sing this every night and see how so yeah, sorry for giving you my sadness. This is another song from that day.
Rain keeps beating on the rooftop, money in the closet. God, I love the sound of heaven. Side cross-legged on a carpet, listening to mine, trying to ignore the weather. This week was heavy, I buckled
So on February 8th last year, I was rehearsing for the Brit Awards. That's basically like the UK's version of the Grammys. I was doing the opening of it with Bring Me the Horizon. We were playing a rock metal version of Bad Habits. Check it out on YouTube. It's pretty cool. There's lots of flames and fireworks and vampires flying through the air. But anyway, so I was rehearsing with them on stage, and I knew that my wife Cherry had gone to the doctors to find out that basically she'd found a lump that had sort of been growing for a while that we just thought was a lump, and she got it removed, and I thought that was the last of it. And she'd gone in to the doctors to what I thought was a checkup to just be like, yeah, all good. That wasn't anything nasty. And I get off stage and I look at my messages, and the first message is just cancel all the plans. They say it's cancer. And at this point, she was 6 months pregnant with our second child. And in your head, you go, well, what does that mean? Like, what can you do treatment while you're pregnant? Do you have to give birth to the baby early? Or we like wait? Like, you suddenly all these things going through my head. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, do not Google it. Never, ever be Dr. Google. Not the one. And anyway, so like I got home, and then we went to the doctors the next day, and it was this sort of like conversation of well, we don't really know what this is. The initial report is really bad, but we're going to take it away and we're going to do some more tests. And so we had this time waiting, and you can't really hurry a doctor up of being like, can you just tell us what it is? And so we had all this time waiting, and in that time obviously Jamal passed away, and then I went into this court case, and I had another friend, Shane, pass away at the start of the court case, and it was all this like, I think it was the not knowing and the sort of confusion around it, and we went to this cancer specialist in North London, and at that point he was like, look, this is operable. We can wait an extra 3 months so you can deliver your child safely. And she had the operation and is now just regular checkups, and it is okay. And it feels weird. It feels weird, like all this time on talking about it, because she is fine and everything is fine. But at the time, it was a lot of fear and confusion. And now in hindsight, I wish I could go back and be like, everything's going to be okay, but we just didn't know whether it was going to be okay. And this song was written on the day that I wrote these 5 songs. We were going to drive to the cancer specialist in North London, and yeah, I didn't know what he was going to say, and I wrote this song called Sycamore.
Sycamore in the summer, bearing leaves, swinging, pushing our door underneath. Flowers bloom in the garden, swaying breeze. Just imagine a world where we could be. Right now in the waiting room, emotions run wild.
But yeah, so this next song is, well, should end the album. And the reason it doesn't end the album is because I'm stubborn. And I will get into that story after this song. But this song is, I feel like it was the final chapter of this record. It was something that, you know, my dad said to me on my wedding day. He said, you're not going to know what real love is until it's tested by sickness and death. And it's because when he was in his mid-20s, both of those things happened to him and my mum, and they got through it. And as I said, they're going into their 40th year of marriage and are stronger because of it. And when all these things were happening, I kept saying to Cherry, I was saying, like, if we can get through this, year, and it gets to the end of 2022, I promise you we'll get through anything. Like, this is going to be the year that shows us that we can be resilient and we can get through this. So the whole time going through it, I was like, we can get through this, we can get through anything. And we did. We got to New Year's Eve on 2022. And 2023 began, and you know, it's one of these things that teaches you, like, no year is going to be perfect. You're sort of like, you know, January 1st, you're like, this is going to be the year. Like, no year has just everything going right. There are always going to be ups and downs in a year. And I think when you get through these things, you realise the next time it happens, you can look back and be like, well, that happened, and I know it was hard, but I got through it. Going back into the life goes on, you know, it just continues. So this is a song that should end the album, and it's called No Strings.
If we make it through this year, then nothing can break us. Trouble leaves and repay. We show we can take it. We tear our hair out and overthink it. Work and get burned out. But this is no strings. You are who I love, and that won't change when we're falling apart. Yeah, this is no strings. You are who I love. It's just growing pains. If we make it through this year, we should celebrate it. Rarefied atmosphere, till now we evade it. We tore the walls down to build them up. Never was in doubt, but this is no strings. You are who I love, and that won't change when we're falling apart. This is no strings. You are who I love. It's just growing pain. We did not fight for love, just to let it be defeated. What we're going through is karma. Doesn't mean we don't need it. Would be easy just to give it up. I guess we got enough reason. Every time that we come undone, I'll say it's no strings. You are who I love, and that won't change when we're falling apart. This is no strings. You are who I love. It's just growing pain.
So Los Angeles, this next song is actually the last song of Subtract. Thank you so much for listening to Subtract. I promise you I'm going to show you. But the reason that No Strings is not the last song on Subtract, and this song is, as I said, I'm stubborn. So the story is, I put out Plus, and I start touring Plus, and I get asked who I want to do my next album with, and my idea is to do Plus, then Subtract. And I go, I want to make Subtract with Rick Rubin I want to come to Los Angeles. I lived here for like 6 months, and we made this acoustic record. But whilst doing that, I was also like, I'd met Pharrell at the Grammys, and he was like, we should do a song. And I was like, great. And I'd met Benny Blanco, he was like, we should do a song. And Johnny McDade, and I just sort of like, it sort of formed into this record of not being acoustic. And it was like I'd done a dance song here, thinking out loud. It sort of morphed into this, it just wasn't Subtract. And then I was like, right, my next record's going to be Subtract. And then that morphed into Divide. And after Divide, I said my next record's going to be Subtract, and that morphed into Equals. And then obviously I had no choice but to make Subtract. But the reason that I did this is it's, you know, when you're trying to make, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a perfect 10-song acoustic album. My favourite albums are like David Gray's White Ladder, Damien Rice's O, James Blunt's Back to Bed. Like these albums are like 10 songs and they're perfect. So I was like, I want to make a perfect 10-song album. And you know, if you're trying to make a perfect album, you never do it because you overthink it the whole time. So what I was doing in every album cycle is every time I would make an album, I'd keep a few songs back and be like, these are for Subtract when Subtract's ready. So when I sat with Aaron, I actually had pretty much Subtract done because I kept all these songs over the years and I formed this kind of 10-track thing. And when I was going through this and writing these songs, my manager was saying to me, this is Subtract. This is what Subtract should be. It should be about learning to live without things and loss and grief and this Subtract. And I was going, no, I just made Subtract. This is something different. And my way of rationalising it was I took the last song of the 10-track album that had always been the last song for 10 years, and I put it as the last song on this album. It's just the way my mind works. So this song I wrote in 2012, and it was the first song that I finished for the original Subtract, and I wrote it with my friend Foy in the Highlands of Scotland. And if you've ever seen a picture of Foy, he wears a little flat cap and he's got a curly moustache, and if you think of me and him in writing this song, it is exactly how you picture me. We are by a fireplace, drinking whiskey, smoking roll-up cigarettes at 2 o'clock in the morning. That is the scene. But this song is, you know, I've had this song for so long, and it's so lovely to have it close this set. And what I will say is, I know Americans love going to Scotland, and if you are ever in Aberfeldy, go to Aberfeldy. It's a wonderful place. Last time I was there, and I recommend going to this place. I'm not quite sure if it was a bar. We were definitely drunk when we were there. It's like a sauna with a slide into the loch, which is like a lake. And I know everyone here likes doing their ice baths and all that stuff, but you've not felt cold like this. Fellas, you will lose a couple of inches. I know from experience. Thank you so much for listening to Subtract. After this, we're going to get into happy hour, but before we do, can you just make one more round of applause for this incredible band?
Oh, the hills are covered in snow. Yeah, the water's frozen. Oh, I long for you to be the one that I'm holding and warm me down to my bone. As you lay beside me, hold me close. Oh, the leaves are starting to fall, and the sun goes cold, and my heart might break from the weight of it all. For all that I know, you could be holding somebody else's clothes. But when I'm hold you like I'm supposed to. Yet I know that I have never told you, darling, we could fall in love beneath the hills of Aberfeldy. move around me slowly.